And talk about the.
We got a request to maybe do something with another league that we heard of in Pottstown, but we have to get more information on that.
Right.
Okay.
Like an all-star type of game.
Sounds interesting. And you said there were 7 teams, right?
Yes.
How many are on the team usually?
It varies, at least 15.
Okay.
But being that we're mothers,
Mhm.
you know, there's some more because some parents have kids that's on track and football and baseball. They might not be able to make it that week, so that's their fillings. So about 15, about 24 per team.
Okay. When do you generally play these games? A weekend, a weekday?
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday?
Yes, beginning at 1:30.
Okay. And can you mention again where people can get more information and follow you guys?
Sure. Norristown Ladies Flag Football Facebook page. They can find anything they want, see posts. They can see photos professionally done by different photographers for each game, videos, everything. So under the file section, they can go under and find more information about us.
Okay. Sounds interesting. Is there anything else you would like to add to this?
Yes, being that we're a nonprofit organization, we're trying to hold a community event for the youth.
Mm-hmm.
And any donations are accepted through our secured PayPal at the email address norristownladiesflagfootball@yahoo.com.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I'm Kobe Allen, here with the co-founders of the Norristown Ladies Flag Football League, talking about their flag football league. Now back to the Eagles.
Now we're coming back to hosts right now.
Okay, so we are back. Sorry about that issue.
Audio is up. Now it's running. That's a good thing, right?
Yep, sorry about that issue.
Yeah.
However, right away we are going straight over to an interview with Mr. Vicini and Kobe, and they are talking about the summer reading.
So go check it out.
I didn't even say words.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Kobe here with Mr. Vicini.
Reading. So, what's on the list this year for all the grade levels?
Well, we have a whole new lists, new series of lists for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. Some old favorites, but some new ones. For 9th graders, for the weighted honor students, they're again reading 5 People You Meet in Heaven. This year there were some new additions to the 10th grade list, The Patron Saint of Butterflies and Into the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
For the 11th grade list for the weighted honors, Streetcar Named Desire, Lesson Before Dying, and for students who are taking AP, Elements of Style, The Scarlet Letter, and A Lesson Before Dying. And seniors are instructed to see their 11th grade teachers for this year to get the specific requirements. Now those have been handed out, and all of the assignments have been handed out as well. And also people can go on the link, www.nasd.k12.pa.us, and on the left-hand side there's a link that's being updated with the summer reading assignments and the books.
Okay, so how do the 8th graders get this information?
8th graders all came up for tours of the building last week. I mean, last week you may have seen them running around the building to and fro.
Right.
They were going and they were just getting a tour of the building. But in addition to the tour, their principals received some of the summer reading information. The principals received all of the forms so that students could order them.
Mm-hmm.
The principals also received the assignments that the students were going to be asked to do with some annotations in their books, just to be ready to when they come back next year.
Okay, so why is summer reading assigned each year?
Summer reading is assigned for a couple very important reasons. First and foremost, and most importantly, reading enriches and strengthens the mind and spirit.
Right.
So when you're engaging with a book, people say, why don't I just go to watch the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you go and you watch a film version, even if it's a film version of a great book or if it's a great script, you are, I don't want to say subjected to, because that might not necessarily be the right word, but you are limited to the director's vision. He tells you where to look, he tells you what to see, and kind of in a way tells you what to think. What books do is they open up a whole new avenue of discovery. So when you're looking and you're reading that book, you are in fact kind of the director of your own film. You're casting it, you're thinking about these characters in these different situations. Right. And you are engaging the imagination and all of your faculties as you're working through and reading a book.
Right. So what what should the students expect when they come back to school after reading the book?
There are going to be assessments. Again, students need to speak to the teachers that they have right now. So for instance, ninth grade students talk to their ninth grade teacher and they get the forms and they'll also get their specific assignments. In many cases, those will involve annotating or taking notes directly in the book, which is a really great way for students to interact with the text right there. They can write it, they can take notes. You know, you had me for English, you know what the annotations game is all about. So you take the notes right in the book, and then you're able to work through it and maybe circle some vocabulary words that you don't know, look them up to find them in the margins, take trace kind of characters' motivations, and even something as simple as the plot. If you're having difficulty, what's happening in this one chapter, tracing it to the next.
Right.
Do it like that.
So what happens if they don't read it?
If they don't read it, when students come back, that's not necessarily an advantageous move for students in two ways. One, it will hurt their grade. But two, students who aren't doing their reading over the summer are unprepared when they come back. And let me give you a very real-world example of how that works. So let's take juniors, for instance. When juniors come in, one of the first things they're going to be doing, middle of October, is the PSAT. The PSAT has a lengthy writing section, there's a reading section, and then a math section. If you haven't been doing anything with your reading all throughout the summer, you're going to backslide up to possibly an entire grade level worth of gains that you had made the previous year. You're going to backslide because you haven't been doing anything over the summer. You're a runner.
Right.
Let's think of it like this. Let's say that you have been running and training for cross country, but then you stop. You say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to relax on the couch. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to eat some chips. And I'm going to, I'm not going to run at all.
Right.
But then, in the summer, you say, I want to run a marathon. After not having trained for months and months and months, what happens?
You do terrible.
You do terrible. You can't even complete the marathon because you haven't been building up the necessary skills and the necessary strength and the necessary endurance.
Right.
Reading, when people say reading is frustrating, well, reading can be if you haven't been doing it. But if you read something every day and if you keep your mind sharp and alert, reading is ultimately one of the best, the greatest activities that one can do for oneself in terms of awakening the imagination. And it's not a frustrating experience. It's like it's a life-affirming experience. It's a wonderful experience. It's an experience that, unlike any other, really does awaken and engage the imagination. But it's very frustrating if you don't do it. And it's very detrimental scholastically if you don't do it, because so much of what we do every day in school revolves around reading in college. I mean, there's so much reading to do. So if you haven't been preparing yourself, if you haven't been training, so to speak, it's going to be difficult to be successful when it comes time to take some of these high-stake tests, like the PSAT and AP tests, but also to be able to really do well in college and beyond, which is in high school, what we're trying to prepare students for, preparing students for their futures. And in the future, there's a lot of reading involved.
Right.
So let's start now. Let's do it right.
Sounds good. Now, you mentioned annotations. Now, are those required?
For some of the books, or for some of the grades, again, students need to speak to their teachers that they have this year about what assignments are for next year. Every student in every class got an order form where students can order books through Barnes & Noble, through us if they want, but they also got a form that says the specific assignments that are going to be required for their next year's teachers. So all of that is explained.
Okay, now are there any packets that the students may have to do?
For AP Literature, for example, which is Mrs. Loebig's class in 12th grade, students have a packet that gives them some detailed instructions about how and what they need to complete for next year. But every class has something like that with the specific requirements.
Okay, now for AP and weighted honors, do students have to get a prerequisite for it?
Yeah, well, there are prerequisites for weighted honors courses. Oftentimes it's a B or better in the previous year's weighted honors course. But there are some things that students can do, even if they haven't met the prerequisites, maybe taking the honors class, and then let's say they want to take AP 12th grade year, but they haven't taken an AP class before. Well, take some weighted honors classes, get ready, build up the kind of academic rigor, and then maybe in 12th grade, see if you can take the AP class if you've gotten a B or better in your AP classes or weighted honors classes before that.
Right. So can you tell again where you can get the books?
Well, Mr. Schmalbach has, and Barnes & Noble has extended the deadline to be able to order the summer reading books through us up until June 5th. We don't want to really wait too long past that because Barnes & Noble won't be able to guarantee that the books can come in. It takes them about 10 days. But because of all the snow, school's now going to June 18th. Well, not for you so much.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I assume you're leaving on Friday.
Yes.
But for many students, and for all the underclassmen, of course, school ends on the 18th. So the books will be in that week, and students will have the opportunity to go pick them up. But if you wanted to order a book through the high school, you need to have the green order form, which you got from your teacher. Then you go and you bring that to Mr. Schmalbach with your money, and then the books will be in 2 weeks.
Okay. Now for 8th graders, I know it's a little different rigor-wise with the academics in middle school. Now, can they take weighted honors courses in 9th grade?
Sure.
How can they do that?
Their teachers have worked with them through the scheduling process, and some of those students have been recommended to take honors courses so that when they come into high school, they'll be ready to hit the ground running.
Okay. Now, how do these books get picked?
The books get picked, the English department meets,
Okay.
and then we work in conjunction with some members of the administration to kind of go over some titles and think about what sort of books contain themes that are, interesting, relevant, and most importantly, challenging. Books need to be interesting, yes, but they also need to be challenging.
Right.
You can't just read about things that interest you now, because the danger of that is you get stuck in those interests. You never stretch, you never think about anything beyond the stuff that your life is like now. So one of the great things about having a choice in these books is maybe you pick up something that you say, I never would have thought to read that book, and that book changed my life. Because a lot of times it's not the books you think, it's not the books that already contain the things that you're interested in that change your life or get you to think about things in a new way. It's those books that you say, man, I'm glad he made me read that. Or I'm glad that I took a chance, picked that book up, and saw what it was all about. That really changed the way I think about something. And that's another purpose of this summer reading, is to have students
get engaged
in some of these books that they might not have thought to pick up before.
Okay. Now, you mentioned preparing for college and whatever other school they go on to. How does your class or these books do that? Well,
I'm not so much talking about just my class in particular, but what these books do. Remember taking the SATs.
Right.
Okay. So on the SAT, they'll talk to you about, they'll give you an essay prompt. That's this great, discussion of some overarching theme. Like, is it better to always tell the truth, or is sometimes a lie permissible? Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that having these texts of depth and complexity does is it allows us to have some framework through which to address some of these moral conundrums. It gives you a chance to see, as you read it, how characters in books, in these great and famous works, have dealt with some of these things in the past, and that you, in your own life, are not alone in confronting many of these issues. These issues have been around for a long time. These are things that are part of the universal human condition. These are things that other people have dealt with, and it gives us comfort, it gives us aid, it gives us a sense of solidarity with people beyond just our immediate circle in knowing that other people have had to deal with these things before. So it prepares you scholastically, yes, but it also makes you a better person.
Right. Now, I know the SAT is changing.
Right.
And how is that going to affect the reading list?
Well, the SAT has still been a little bit, some of its changes are still a little bit nebulous. We really don't know all of them. There's going to be longer sections.
Okay.
The essay is going to be optional, but like the ACT, in most cases, students will still, you kind of still have to take it. So you don't really take the ACT without writing.
Right.
So you would still take the essay portion. And they said that they were going to make them more, user-friendly writing prompts. I'm not quite sure what that means so far. But as far as that's concerned, going on the College Board's website and looking at some of those updates would probably be the best way to do that. But as we revise and as we continue to make additions to our summer reading list, we always have an eye on what will help students prepare for the realities of these very important tests in mind.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, just that it's very important to do the reading for many reasons. One, like I said, to make sure that scholastically we don't backslide in the summer and that we hit the ground running and we're ready to go when school begins. But also, it is our hope that as you explore these books over the summer, you find something that you're really engaged with and that ultimately, hopefully, can, if not necessarily change your life, maybe change the way you think about something and open your mind to new possibilities.
Okay, well, I thank you for being here.
Well, thank you.
I'm here with Mr. Vizzini talking about the summer reading list. Now back to Ben and Breezy.
This is not. Oh, hello. So this is not Ben and Breezy. This is Ben. This is Drew. I'm Seth, and we're all here together, about to talk about the next segment, which is.
Jess Wiegand is going to sing us some songs, right? How many songs? 3 songs. I love it. With a guitar, multi-talented, singing songs and playing a guitar. We're real excited about that. So.
Yeah.
It's 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock, guys.
It is 2 o'clock.
It is.
Wait, we still have
What kind of music do you like, Drew?
I mean, I like alternative rock.
Ben.
17 hours.
I kind of like anything.
17 hours.
It's pretty much the same for me.
17 hours and 33 minutes.
37 minutes.
You have been watching us for close to 7 hours.
I've been sitting here for more than 7 hours.
Yes.
I've been awake since 5:30 today. Been awake since 5:30 in the morning.
I also did. I don't know. So the 3 of us have actually been in this class for at least since freshman year.
Yeah, this is really exciting.
He hasn't.
Oh, Ben hasn't, but he's been part of the comp center.
It is the most exciting thing we've ever done, and it gets even more and more exciting the more money we raise. We raised $575 right now. So make sure you call the number 610-630-5098. Please donate.
Doesn't matter how much. Just and we got to repeat it again. So
610-630-5098.
probably somebody should write that down.
Miss Custer if you call, and she's always fun to talk to. Or if you request Brianna Kelly, you can talk to her too.
You have to pay us to talk to Brianna. It's $10 an hour.
An hour? No, we're $10 a minute. $10 a minute.
With Brianna.
We're paying $10 a minute.
We're selling.
We're raising money for. What are we raising money for, Ben?
Dragonfly Forest and the comm center.
Love it. Come on, guys. Let's raise money. What's your favorite kind of music?
I don't know. I really listen to anything. I like techno. I like techno music. Techno dubstep. You know.
Techno dubstep?
Yeah.
Like beat, boop, bop, when a bass drop. Seth, you like to dance?
I don't. I do not like dancing.
No dancing?
No dancing.
Why?
Because either that I suck at it, or that I don't know. I just don't. I'm not into it.
Can you show us a few dance moves?
Dance for us, Seth.
No.
Dance.
No.
Listen, why can't you?
You must dance.
Well, Liz jumped up from her interviewing spot and then came over here to dance.
But how do you like music but you can't dance? I know you do this music news thing.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. Don't ever watch it.
Oh gosh, we don't say that. It's awesome.
What?
We say that it's awesome, like, because all our programming here is awesome.
It is. And Seth talking about music news is one of the most awesome things we do. Seth, dance for us.
No.
Dance.
Who's on the teleprompter?
Dance, Seth. Dance.
No. I want
Alright.
to know who's at the teleprompter.
All right, guys. Jess Weekend's going to play some songs. So let's get ready for that. Let's listen, sit back, and enjoy the music.
Oh, goodness. Hey, I'm Jess, and I'm going to be playing a couple songs. The first one is 1, 2, 3, 4 by the Plain White T's. Give me more love than that.
tell me that I'm special even when I know I'm not. Make it feel good when it hurts so bad. Barely get mad, I'm so glad I found you. Love being around you. You make it easy. As easy as 1, 2, 3. There's only one thing to do. 3 words for you. I love you. There's only one way to say those 3 words. That's what I'll do. I love you. Give me more loving from the very start. Piece me back together when I fall apart. Tell me things you never even tell your closest friends. Make you feel good when I hurt so bad. The best that I've had. I'm so glad I found you. Love being around you. Make it easy. As easy as 1, 2, 3. There's only one thing to do. 3 words for you. I love you. There's only one way to say those 3 words. That's what I'll do. I love you. Make it easy. Easy as 1, 2, 3. There's only one thing to do. 3 words for you. I love you. There's only one way to say those 3 words. That's what I'll do. I love you. I love you. Okay. The next song is Spider-Man song. So kind of into the nerdy stuff. My Spider-Man shirt. So yeah. Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web and he sighs. Catches thieves just like flies. Look out, there goes that Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes that Spider-Man. In the chill of the night, at the scene of a crime, like a stream of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward. To him, life is a great big bang up. Whenever there's a hang up, you'll find that Spider-Man. Yeah. Just okay.
Ooh, that was great. Hi, Ben. All right. Anyways, next up we have Craig, who is and his involvement in Honor Society, or no, French Honor Society and French Club.
And then everything French. So like, I'm pretty sure he might be complimenting our host in French.
You should definitely talk in French.
And I heard he's going to talk about eating snails.
Can you talk French, Ben?
Bonjour.
Bonjour, not, wait, alright. Teleprompter person, erase that.
I feel like when you speak French, if you don't speak like angry, like you kind of aren't speaking it right. Because like
It's racist.
no, it's not. When you speak, but like apparently like French, like when you're in France and you're traveling around in France, like apparently they don't like Americans. Yeah.
Yeah, I think wasn't there a revolution?
Yeah, like
The French Revolution?
Oh yeah, like we call French fries, and apparently they wanted us to change the name.
I don't
to,
think
like,
that's
freedom
real.
fries. I think it's real. No?
Where'd
No.
you find that?
I don't know.
Probably he
Really hungry and tired because
It is 2:11. This time, the time has really been flying. Like it's flying, and like I'm kind of hungry, so maybe I'm gonna go get another bagel. But bagels are breakfast foods, so snails, escargot, and caviar.
and donations.
I'm not eating money.
actually can't eat unless you donate food. Money to
Yeah, we can't eat unless you donate food, and I'm a very starving child. Listen to my stomach.
Ben, you can't do that. You can't say that.
I'm hungry.
All right, let's go check out this awesome interview with awesome people.
Awesome people. French.
Hi, my name is Autumn Hudson, and I'm here with Craig Madrak, and he's going to tell us a little bit about French Honor Society and everything French. Hey, Craig.
Hi. So the French Honor Society is the program we have. It's very similar to the Honor Society here, but it's geared more towards the students who take French class. Some of the restrictions that we have for being accepted into the program is that you have to be in French 2 or higher, you have to continue to take French classes, you have to maintain an A in all your French classes, and at least a B average in all your other classes. And one of the more challenging things that people have to do is write an essay in French about why they should be accepted into the program. So it's very difficult for some of the students, especially with like the lower classes that apply for it, because they really have to use the knowledge that they know of French. Some of the things that we do, one of the big things we did last year is that we had a trip to France.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was one of the greatest experiences in my life. Just being able to go to a different country, and everything was so foreign. I mean, everything from their public transportation system, it's so much bigger there than it is here. The way you talk to people, the way things happen in like restaurants. Like, for example, one of the cultural tips I learned is that the waiters don't come to you with a check. You actually have to go up and ask for it because they view it as rude to give someone a check. It's kind of like get out to them.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense, though. I like that. So what are some things that you experienced there that kind of changed your look on things here at home?
The biggest thing is like the public transportation system. Everyone uses like the metro, for example, to get around, rather than like us. We always are driving everywhere or doing stuff like that. They really rely on that, and they also do a lot of walking. The city's huge. Paris is huge, for example. We were there, but people were walking everywhere, or even biking. There was a lot of biking going on there. In some of the mountains, like Paris, part of Paris is on a mountain, so people are going up and down the mountain. It's just ridiculous.
They probably have crazy leg muscles from all that bike riding. I wish I did all that. Could you tell us about like some of the cuisine that you had there? I heard you were eating snails.
Yes, I actually did eat snail, the escargot there.
Ooh.
It was intimidating to eat at first. I was kind of like, I'm not going to eat this. But then I got there and I was like, I'm here. I have to eat
You might as
snail.
well. And what was your opinion on it?
I actually really liked it.
Really?
I ate it with baguette.
Oh.
And, I just ate it, and I mean, it was mushy and nasty texture, but it was really good. They cook it in some kind of seasoning and stuff on it, but because it's not just a snail. You don't just eat the snail. They cook it a little bit. So
did everyone on the trip try it, or it was kind of just like a select few?
Most of us did, but I know there was a few that didn't because they were a little sick to the stomach looking at the snail.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would have. Maybe if I was there, I would, but
it's different when you get there because like here, like you want to go out like, oh, let's go eat some snail. Like there,
yeah,
it's like it's stereotypical there, so it's of course we're gonna want to go out there. But another interesting thing was seeing like all the different tourist attractions there, like the Eiffel Tower, the Notre Dame, and just getting to visit the country.
And what was your favorite?
Probably the Palace of Versailles. It was beautiful there. At the Palace of Versailles, it's like kind of like a big museum almost, but it was his house. King Louis lived there for years. He built it for himself. He actually almost bankrupted the country for his own house. But there, for example, each room has a different ceiling, and that was kind of like memorable for their time there. Each ceiling has like a painting on it. Someone actually climbed up and painted on the ceilings, and all of them are beautiful paintings. And the walls, each wall has a different texture or painting on them. And then there's the classic Hall of Mirrors, which is breathtaking. It was beautiful.
Now, are you able to take pictures inside, or do they have certain rules about that?
Yes, you're allowed to take pictures both inside and outside, because outside there's also the gardens, and the gardens are huge and it's amazing. There's actually like a hedge maze in there. It was really cool. We didn't get to go in it because we had a time constraint. We had to get in and out. But we got to take group pictures like in front of like the gate. The gate is like gold. So we got to take a picture there. We got to take pictures of their different ceilings, but it was very crowded because it's a tourist attraction, of course. So we were kind of being like squeezed together in each room, but we were able to get pictures of each of the ceilings or the walls and stuff like that. So.
Now, how many people were in your group that you traveled with?
I think about 12 with us, but we also went with other schools around the country. Like we met people from like Iowa and
that's awesome.
South Carolina and things like that. So it was pretty cool meeting all of them. But yeah, we were actually the bigger group. The other groups had like 4 or 5. There's even a family on the trip. So I mean, our trip we went with a company, a tour company. So that's how we got to go there. Some of the other interesting things we got to see there was we went up to Normandy region, which is where like the war and everything. So we got to go into a bunker, and half of it was blown up because they preserved it, but the other half was still open, and it was kind of like ambivalent being there because like the history of being
it's
sad,
kind of like
but then
takes
being
you back.
there, but being there, it's like wow, I'm here. And you could actually see some of the holes where they would have the gun, and you could see down into the beaches and stuff like that. So it was really cool seeing that.
Now, in certain types of things like that, I know like a lot of museums, like Holocaust museums, you don't talk in those type of areas. Was it like a more silent and like a memorial type thing, or like was it a lot of like conversation?
It was more silent. It was very solemn, the environment, because everyone's there, and I mean, you're there. It's more like a memorial. We actually went to the American Memorial there. They actually have like the typical like the white crosses. We went to see that, and they have like a whole memorial there for all the American soldiers that died there in France, and it's actually there in France. So we got to visit that, and they have like this thing where it's like all the names of the soldiers that died. And they have there's also like a gun and a helmet on it, standing in the center, and it's kind of like there, and it's like no one, like it's blocked off, and you can just see it. So it's very like solemn, just
I'm getting a little taken back as I'm listening.
Yeah, it was sad, but it was still great being there.
That's great. Now, I don't mean to switch off the topic of your trip, which sounds amazing. I wish I would have had the opportunity to go on it. But could you tell me a little about induction into the French Honor Society?
Yeah, this year was actually our second induction. Our first induction ceremony we had 2 years ago, where it was like me and I think like 6 other people maybe, and they all graduated. It's actually just now me and Nicole in it. So there's only 2 of us in the program right now. And we actually ran our induction ceremony this time. It was just me and Nicole. Our advisor, Madame Meisler, told us that we were going to run the program. So everything we did was set up by us.
That's awesome.
So what we did was, at first, we set up, like, what are the requirements to come in the program, like I just listed early in the interview. And then we went in and talked about my experiences with French, and I talked about my trip there. I talked about the class, because we're taking the AP French class. It's the first time offered here at NASDtv. So we talked about that, kind of advised the students, giving them advice, and, like, to continue on in French, and I told them that they should take the opportunity to go to France, because we're actually having another one next year.
Oh, really? That's great.
Over the summer, and yeah, I advise them that they should take advantage, because it really allows you to use the language that you know, because you're not using French typically in America, but going there and able to use it and just exposure in the culture is pretty cool. And then we moved on and we talked about like our tradition with the induction ceremony, which goes back with other French Honor Society chapters, and it's kind of like a light the torch and you pass the torch along. Me and Nicole lit our candles, and then we set our motto, which is "L'homme qui sait 2 langues et en veut 2," which means the man who knows 2 languages is worth 2. So that's kind of like our motto.
I like that.
And when we lit the the next person's candle, we repeated the motto, and then they would light each other's candles, repeating the motto until the last person who would just read the motto out again
Right.
one last time. And then we congratulated them. We had like a nice little reception with like cake and food. And
Now this was held at the high school?
yes, we did it in the library. We're hoping to get big enough so we can use the auditorium, but right
Yes.
now it's only like 6 or 8 of us, so using a whole auditorium would be a waste. So
Understand.
we just in the back of the library.
So could you tell me a little bit about your AP French course, since it's the first year that we offered it here at the high school? What are some things that you learned?
It was definitely one of the more difficult classes I've taken. It's very difficult, very rigorous. We do a lot of reading, a lot of writing, a lot of speaking, a lot of listening. Everything you can think of with language, we were doing. For example, we would read stories after stories after stories, kind of like in an English class where you would read like short stories and then read novels. We'd read novels, we read short stories, poems, we analyzed them, and we wrote about them, or we would discuss them, kind of like in a discussion type class. We also did a lot of listening where we would have like a podcast or an interview, and we would just listen to it and then discuss it or write about it. So, for example, we had a movie we watched, and we had to write an essay on it. We had a 4-page essay, all in French.
That's fun.
It was difficult, but we pulled through. Right now, it's only 2 of us taking the class, so it's a very small class, and the French community has always been like a close-knit family because there's always been a very limited amount. Like last year in our French 4 class, we had like 6 people, and we had like 8 people in our French 3 class. So I mean, we were all very close with each other, and we still continue our relationship with them because now most of them are already graduated.
Right.
Because they took French 4 in their senior year and they graduated. For example, like Amelia Schunder, we still are close with her.
That's great, though.
Yeah.
Building relationships through French class. Even in this such a large high school, you have those small, tight relationships even after people graduate. That's what really counts, the relationships that you have after high school.
And I hope to continue all the relationships I've met with in our French community and other communities too, of course.
That's great.
But more about the class, we also did, we had like a Barron's AP book, and we would actually just work in that the last few weeks, and we just do tests after tests, and work and work. It was very challenging. Now the test was even worse.
Yeah, how did that actually go?
There's 2 parts to the test, like every other AP test. There's multiple choice and then free response section. The multiple choice questions, we would have like a writing or reading article or passage or some sort, kind of like an SAT, and it was all in French. And we'd have to do multiple choice questions all about it in French. And then the second part of that would be like a listening section where you had to have to read an article and then listen about it, about like a podcast, like an interview or something like that, and then answer questions all in French. And then the second section is a written section where we have to write an email reply, and it has to be all in like a formal dialect because like in French, their formal language was different than informal. So we had to write in the formal accent. And then we also had to write a persuasive essay synthesizing sources we read about and listened about. And then we also had a speaking section on the test where we had to speak in like a conversation. They would give like an audio response, and then we'd have to talk like we were in an actual conversation.
Wow.
And that was challenging. But it was nice having the trip to France because I was able to talk to French people.
Right, because that gives you a little bit leg up on the test.
Exactly. But then the final part, which was probably the hardest part of the test, we had to do a cultural comparison presentation in French. And we had to sit there with an audio recording device and speak and record a presentation about some culture in French.
Wow. Now, how do you personally think that you did with the test overall?
I'm thinking I did very well. I mean, it was very challenging, but I think I did well enough to get at least passing grade on it. So
do you think you're going to continue with French throughout college?
I hope to, actually. I want to maybe do like a study abroad in France or some other French-speaking country. I also want to do like a kind of like a Doctors Without Borders program, and a lot of Northern Africa speaks French, so it'll be helpful to be able to speak their language while helping them. So
that's great. Now, as far as with you taking the French and moving forward with that, do you plan to eventually maybe move to France, or you just want to kind of just visit?
I would hope to visit. I don't think about moving all the way over there because, I mean, that's a big change.
Right, but, that's why.
Yeah, but I would love to go over there a few times in my future just to visit, see more things, because just one trip isn't enough to see the whole country. We only got to see some aspects. Like, we were in the Louvre, for example, and we didn't get to see the whole Louvre. We only saw 2 hours of it, and the huge, and just being able to see other things. Like, we stayed mostly in northern France. We didn't get to see all the southern beaches and stuff like that, which are typical in France. The wine country, we didn't get to see any of that.
Oh, wow. Now, what actually turned you on to take French your freshman year? What stood out from French besides Spanish or German? Like, what actually made you want to take French?
Me and my friend Nicole, we actually studied a little bit in 8th grade to learn a little bit, and we took French. So when we came in to high school, we were already prepared to skip up to French 2, so that's kind of why we stuck with it. For French, there's really no other reason. I mean, we just wanted to learn language. It's a cool language. It sounds nice.
It does. It does. All right. So I did hear that there was going to be a compliment I was going to receive in French.
Vous êtes très belle.
Oh, and what does that mean, Craig?
You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Craig. All right. Do you want to throw it back over to our host for us?
Yes. Alors, on est fini avec ça et on va continuer avec le téléthon avec les hosts Ben et Liz et les autres.
All right. This is Autumn Hudson. I'm here with Craig Madrig, and we're going to go back to our hosts.
I know. I was like, I felt like I was repeating myself. I kept looking. I saw something.
Doesn't matter. All right, guys. So it is almost the end of the school day.
It is.
We have been broadcasting for the whole school day.
We are 4 minutes away from the end of the school day.
But you guys have been watching us for an entire school day.
That's really exciting.
We're about to go to Wawa and stock up.
Yep. Get some energy.
Start the night shift.
Oh.
The evening shift. The night shift is later.
Yeah, the
This
evening.
is it, evening. Yeah. Late night is 11.
Well,
This is second shift.
if you guys are, we did, and now we're working.
And then we're gonna be like janitors working the night. Don't compare us to janitors.
No, we're janitors.
If you guys are just joining us, we are on channel 45 or 28. Also, we are on YouTube. Sometimes. We're on YouTube.
He's like, sometimes.
NASDtv Telethon, and we're part 5 now.
Yes.
Part 5 now, so you guys can find us. We started that at 1:30, so we'll have about another hour before we switch to part 6.
Make donations.
Yes, make those donations. Go to Dragonfly Forest and the Comm Center, so that's cool.
Right now, something like that at 3 o'clock this morning is we're all just gonna be like on the floor crying. No, it's not gonna be like a little chocolate. It's gonna be like. So wait, donate some money. We got our Wawa funds.
Yeah, we got our Wawa
You guys didn't pay for this.
We did. We paid out of room.
Call.
The number is 610-630-5098.
I mean, even
We gotta go to Wawa.
your donations are greatly appreciated. However, the phone has not been ringing lately, and the phone would like to be ringing. I was talking to it. And you can talk to us, because sometimes we get lonely, need a friend.
I'm so
Be our friend.
Ben's used to being lonely. It's okay.
sorry. Be okay. So call Ben and donate and have a conversation with him. If you can have a conversation with him for $10.
Who needs it?
Have the mic. All right, guys. So next up is Liz Miller. She's gonna sing another 2 songs. She sung some earlier today, and we are gonna listen to her sing some beautiful songs. I heard one is Radioactive. That is one of my favorite songs. So we can't wait to hear that. So let's turn it over to Liz.
Hi. The first song I'm singing is by Tegan and Sarah. I think it's called The Call, but I'm not positive. But I like it, so. I won't regret saying this thing that I'm saying. Is it better than keeping my mouth shut? That goes without saying. Call, break it off, call, break my own heart. Maybe I would have been something you'd be good at. Maybe it would have been something I'd be good at. But now, we'll never know. I won't be sad, but in case I'll go there every day. To make myself feel bad, there's a chance I'd start to wonder if this is a thing to do. I won't be out long, but I still think it's better if you take your time coming over here. I think it's for the best. Call, break it off, call, break my own heart. Maybe I would have been something you'd be good at. Maybe you would have been something I'd be good at. But now, we'll never know. I won't be sad, but in case I'll go there every day. To make myself feel bad, there's a chance I'd start to wonder if this is a thing to do. Start to wonder if this is a thing to do. That's the first song. Alright, the second song is Radioactive. Okay. The second song is Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. I'm waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals. I'm breaking in, I'm shaping up, then checking out on the prison bus. This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa. I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones, enough to make my systems grow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. I'll raise my flags, don my clothes. It's a revolution, I suppose. We're painted red to fit right in. Whoa. I'm breaking in, shaping up, and checking out on the prison bus. This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa. I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones, enough to make my systems grow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive.
Alright, we still haven't gone to Wawa. We were supposed to, but we didn't.
We wanted to watch Liz sing because she's so good.
Yeah, you guys can make your way out.
Yeah, I don't really know what's coming up next, but I see Mr. Schiffer is in the building.
Yep. So you guys
Something.
can you guys can run out of here and go get my Wawa stuff because I'm really hungry. Go get my Wawa stuff because I'm really hungry. Oh.
I thought they'd never leave.
Thankfully, we got them out of here to go get my Wawa stuff.
I need coffee.
I need food and caffeine and yeah.
I really liked that Radioactive.
It was really good. It was so good, Liz. So good.
And I love Tegan and Sarah, so like, I mean, come on, that was great. You did a great job. I like acoustic Radioactive is my favorite rendition of it.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for coming back. I know you were here this morning and then you came back. So now you're at the start of the school day, the end of the school day.
Bringing it all together.
Who knows? Maybe you'll come back at the end tomorrow.
Or like 3 in the morning.
We got $600. So now we have $600. That means we got 75.
No, we had 575.
Oh, my bad. I thought we had 525. I thought we had 525. Now we have, but we actually had 575. So now we have 600.
What? Thank you, person.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for donating money. We're at $600, guys. Come on, let's keep it going.
Let's make it to 1,000.
Let's do it, guys. All right, 610-630-5098 is the number.
No! Oh, wait, yes, my bad. Yes.
That is the number.
Yeah, Yeah, that's right? Yeah,
Yep.
6965 5098. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Schaefer now is here with Kobe Allen, and they're going to be talking about the Scribbler. So let's go see what they have to talk about.
Scribbler is the literary arts magazine here at Norristown High School.
Okay, and what's the goal of the Scribbler?
The goal of the Scribbler is to, to demonstrate or to display students and faculty poems and artwork and photographs.
Okay. Now, how long has the high school had a Scribbler?
The first Scribbler came out in 1957, before either of us were born. Yeah, before you were born.
Hopefully.
Maybe even before your parents were born.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was started way back in 1957 by a 10th grade English teacher, and her name escapes me right now, but she got together with students to produce the first Scribbler. She did it for about, I'm going to say, 20, maybe 10 years or something like that, and then she passed it down through the English department, and people like Mr. Doyle worked on it when he was a student here at the high school, and Mrs. Dineno worked on it while she was a student here at the high school, and a teacher named Mr. Nelson was the sponsor, and then Miss Sumo was the sponsor for some time. And then it went into a hiatus, went away for a little bit. No one knew where it went. And then a couple years ago, well, 3 years ago, the Norristown Area Education Foundation advertised teacher mini grants. I applied for one, got $500, and we had the Scribbler come back.
Nice. So what kind of things do people write or publish in the Scribbler?
Well, I happen to have a copy of this year's Scribbler, and we had submissions throughout the year, starting in September and going till April 1st, and students would submit poems and some short stories and essays and artwork and some really nice pictures of, this one happens to be of a young man, sort of looks like you, running on our athletic field or our track outside. And so what we did was we opened up the submissions in September, and they submitted these things. And I'd say we got about 80 or so poems and short stories,
wow,
and about a dozen photographs and artwork. Well, more than a dozen, actually. And so that's what our staff had to make a decision about.
So how do you choose who gets published?
Well, it would be easy to publish everything that we receive, but then it really wouldn't make sense.
Right.
We want to make sure that we're publishing the best. And I put that in quotation marks because what's good this year may not be good next year or even the next day. So what we do is we take all the poems and we cut the name off the top. So it's just the poem itself. And then staff members read it and rate it on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being it's excellent, it's worthy to go into the magazine. 4, it's pretty good. 3, it's okay. 2, 1, maybe we should save that for another time. And so everybody that's there at the staff meeting votes for them, and then the poems or the artwork with the highest score get published.
Okay. So were there any awards for being published?
Yes, there are. The cover art, which was done this year by Abigail Rank, netted her $50. It's pretty good. She's a professional artist now. And the winning poem, which was submitted by Nick Ozarowski, also received $50. In the past, we've also given second and third prizes. This year, we decided not to. Next year, we're already planning for next year. We're going to give out a poetry award, an essay award, and an artwork award.
Okay. So how can people submit their work or?
Well, we'll start all again next year. We'll start on the first day of school, and we'll open the submission up. They can submit online. We only accept online submissions, so it's email at norristownscribbler, all one word, at yahoo.com, and they submit their short story or their poem or their essay, or in your case, you sent me your photo, and then we'll save everything up, we'll print them out, we'll judge them, and we'll produce another issue next year.
Okay, so how can people find out about the Scribbler, like people that aren't in the high school?
That's a good question. They can either contact me Neil Schaefer. That would be nschaefer@nasd.k12.pa.us. They could go to the school district website. There's a link on, I believe it's the front page now. I looked at it today. And there's a link to my email there. And if they want to buy an issue, they can buy one. They're $2 for this year's issue, or $1 for last year's, or they can get a free one, the 2-year-old version. Or they could contact Mr. Doyle here at the Comm Center. I'm sure he can get in touch with me. We don't have a website. We don't have anything like that, and that's in the years to come. We're back. Consider we're a 3-year-old child, and you don't have a website when you're a 3-year-old. Maybe when we're 5 or 6.
So about how many do you sell per year?
That's a good question. We produced about 250 this year, and I'd say I have about 100 left.
Wow.
So, if you contact me and you'd like 2 or 3 or 4 of them, I'll throw in an extra one for free. But it's not really about selling it. It's about displaying and showing off, really, for the people in the public. And we also sell advertising space in the back, which is a nice way to raise money for our Scribbler. And people like DECA and Faith and Fellowship Club and the cross-country team sponsored the Scribbler this year. So it's another way that people can give back and show off what our students can do.
Okay. So how has this year fared compared to other years that you've been on the Scribbler?
Well, the first year that we did it, it was all black and white. Great cover by Marani Herrera and Tiffany Ramos. They both did a great photos for the cover. One was of a tree and one was of a flower, but that was black and white. Last year we moved up a little bit and we got a color cover, and the back was color. A great painting by Emma Hagel, and the back was done by one of the Dowells, Eric Dowell. That was quite a step up for us, and we were able to include pictures. This year we went to full color, and that was a little more expensive, but we were also able to do it in-house, which means we sent it up to the graphics department, and Mr. So it was a quicker turnaround.
Nice.
There wasn't so much aggravation because he was right on campus. I used to have to send this out to a printer, and that would get aggravating. I got a couple gray hairs out of that. So this was a lot nicer. Now, where do we go from here? I asked somebody, what do we do next? Somebody said, maybe you could do an online edition, which is a really good suggestion. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what next year. But we do have a good amount of startup cash. I know we're not supposed to talk about money too much, but we do have a good amount of startup cash for next year, so that can only help us get better.
Okay. So in all your years of Scribbler, what's your favorite poem, photo, essay?
My favorite photographs are by a little-known photographer named Kobe Allen. He does some really good work. Shameless self-promotion. He did this great one of a beach scene, and he has another one, an underwater scene, and then my favorite, because it shows our track and field team, him running on the track. Yeah, who's Kobe Allen? That's a good question. But I think all the artwork is really good. I think they're all really good. I have a vote and a say in what goes in the Scribbler. I don't have the only say. It's mostly students that have a say. I hate to play favorites, but there was one my first year that Tom Picari wrote, and it was called The Man Atop Sorrow Hill. And what I know about Tom, or what I knew about Tom then, was that he was a really soft-spoken young man, really positive and uplifting, and that poem is really dark and really deep, and that showed a different side to him. Not that it was a true side, that he was a dark, deep person, but he had another one published in this year's, and I like that one too. It's about the Wright brothers. But I think they're all good. I think all the poems are good. You know, we don't print cutesy stuff. We don't print roses or red, violets or blue stuff that you could get in you know, on a Hallmark card or something. We try to get stuff that's a little bit more in depth. And I think overall, and I know that the people who were at the reception this year thought that, a lot of the poems are really, really high quality stuff, and they really showcase what our students can do. And as I said in the interview earlier today, when we were talking about the Cancer Awareness Club, there's a lot of great things here at Norristown Area High School. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't get the attention that they should. And I hope that they do, the positive things that we do. Then this telethon is one of those positive things that, you know, it's quite an adventure to have 24 hours of television coverage where you're going to have enough entertainment, besides just Andrew Baltris over there talking, where you can show off your talent. I walked in and I saw Liz Miller playing the guitar. That's the good stuff that happens here at this school. The Scribbler's a good thing. The track and field team's a good thing. The cross-country team, the Faith and Fellowship Club, DECA, things like that. All those great things that we should be talking about that should make the newspaper on a daily basis. But sometimes they get pushed to the side.
Yeah. So who inspired you, or what made you want to take charge of the Scribbler?
That's another great question. You have a lot of good questions. I was never published in high school as a writer. We had a literary magazine at my high school, and it was a really good magazine, but I never got published. Then when I got to college, one of my professors urged me to write poetry, and I submitted to the literary magazine there, and they sent me the acceptance letter, and I thought, I'm great. I'm a great poet now. I showed up and I won the contest. I won $50. Well, that set me on my way, and you know, when I saw an opportunity here at Norristown to start up a literary magazine, and certain people like Mr. Doyle, like Mrs. DeNino, were prodding me on to do these sort of things, it just seemed like a natural fit to bring back something that was a tradition here at Norristown, and I hope it continues way beyond the time that I'm here. I hope it's a tradition again.
Speaking of that, how long do you plan on doing this for?
Oh, well, I have 14 more years of teaching, so let's say I do it 14 more times, and you know, and then we'll see what happens. And maybe in a few years we want to move on to something else. Maybe we want to do a winter issue and a spring issue. Maybe we want to do a fall issue, or maybe we want to do a summer issue. There's the avenues that we can go down are endless, and I do really look forward to doing something online, because then everybody can share fun with it all the time.
Right. So, have you and the other crew members of the Scribbler thought of any new ideas for next year?
I have thought of some great ideas, but I haven't shared them with the staff yet. One of the things I'd like to do is an essay contest that talks about different people's definition of, say, success, love, friendship, and things like that, because I think some of our students need a voice, need a place to display their voice, and I think they're going to bring back the school newspaper. I think that's a great forum to bring back a voice, and I know Mr. Doyle was a big proponent of the school newspaper and still is, and I think it's another way that kids can show what they have in their brains without, you know, getting in trouble, or without speaking out, or, you know, it's sort of a, I don't want to say placid way, because that's a nice vocab word, but I like sort of a passive way of expressing their opinion. I know you have your opinions, I have my opinions, Mr. Doyle has his opinions, and this is a great way for us to just show what we have in our brains and get it out on paper. So I'd like to have some kind of essay contest where kids can speak their mind in sort of a non-confrontational way.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just like to say that I'm very thankful of the entire Norristown Area High School family for putting on this Scribbler issue, and NASD for helping us out. They've been at every one of our receptions, and they videotape it, and I thank Mr. Doyle for that. I also just encourage everybody to, even if you're shy, even if you're not a very vocal person, but you express yourself through poetry or artwork or photography, to submit something to the Scribbler for consideration. And as I look through your studio, I notice that some people here have submitted and were published, and I just encourage them to do that. And I thank you very much for interviewing me.
Hey, thank you for being here. Can you mention how to submit again?
Yes, you can submit online at norristownscribbler@yahoo.com. And if you are having trouble with that, you can just email me. It's nschaefer@nasd.k12.pa.us. If you'd like to buy an issue, you can bring in $2 to the main office, and I'll make some available there.
Okay, well, thank you for being here again.
Thank you very much. Good luck with your telethon.
Thank you. I'm Kobe Allen, here with Mr. Schaefer, talking about the Scribbler. And now over to Drew and Seth.
Good job, Kobe. What's up, guys?
Coming very shortly, Miss Bartlett's going to talk to Ben. That's kind of cool because Ben runs cross country, or at least tries to. And Miss Bartlett is the coach, so that'll be interesting. Do you play any sports, Seth?
I don't.
You will play the sport of...
I just run around in the studio a bunch.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. You probably run a 5K a day.
Probably.
5K a day. Speaking of running around in the studio, that's what we're doing all night long, 24-hour telethon, and we need you to donate money, right, Seth?
Yeah.
What's the number?
I think somebody just called in. I'm not 100%
Someone
sure.
just called in.
I think so.
Woo! I hope someone called in. Woo! What? I wish we knew who called in. Someone give me.
No, wait, no.
Nope, no one's helping.
Wait, I remember. No, it wasn't somebody who was calling to donate, but it was one of the first Eagle's Eye hosts.
One of the first Eagle Eye hosts is in-house?
Yes.
Uh-oh. That is crazy. We have $600 raised so far, guys.
The first.
The first Eagle's Eye host. Invented the Eagle's Eye.
So without him,
this doesn't exist.
This isn't even.
This doesn't exist.
Yeah, this doesn't exist. That was towards you, you jerk. You just hogging the mic. Just gonna hog the mic. Are we just gonna stare at each other now?
All right, guys. That was cool. Now we're gonna go over to Ben, who's gonna interview Miss Bartlett about cross country.
Hey guys, I'm Ben Detweiler, and I'm joined today with Ms. Bartlett to talk about cross country and our plans for the next year. So, Ms. Bartlett, what plans do we have for next season?
Well, currently we are in conditioning mode. So we're meeting every Tuesday and Friday at the farm park, and we are trying to just get some runs in, some longer runs, and maybe some tempo workouts just to kind of get our bodies back in race mode, we'll call it. And just working on some summer plans as far as getting mileage in and getting ready for the upcoming season.
And how are we planning on recruiting new possible members to the cross-country team?
Well, we've been talking to JROTC because we know that our JROTC members love to run, and so we try to go down there and talk in phys ed as well to try to get people that are interested in sort of bettering their bodies through running and recruiting that way.
Okay.
So.
And describe to me a cross-country runner. Who is a cross-country runner?
Then when I think of a cross-country runner, I think of, well, we'll look at you for a moment. Someone who is, ready, in shape, willing participant, somebody who is willing to give their all and enjoys a good physical workout, doesn't mind sweating. We know you love to sweat. And just enjoys kind of being with other people and running.
Okay, and how did our last season go?
Last season went very well. We had the opportunity to have 2 home cross-country meets, so we opened our track back up and we created a home course at Norristown, and we brought in multiple schools to kind of see our lovely landscape and run around. And we just had a really good team building season. We bonded, we had spaghetti dinners, and I know the team has spent a lot of time together training and just having fun. So we had a great season last year.
Did anyone happen to beat their personal records last year?
We had many people beat their personal records, including 2 members of our teams that actually made All-League. We had a girl for the first time make All-League, and we also had a boy make third team All-League. So, which was very good. We're very impressed with them.
Yeah. And what does a typical conditioning workout look like?
Well, it can vary. Most of our runners are running anywhere from 5 to 6 days a week with 1 rest day, having one of the days be a longer workout where they're doing a longer run, and then also including tempo runs and fartlek runs, which I know are your favorites. Essentially, that's it, just kind of varying the pace and really trying to improve upon each week.
Okay, and what exactly is a fartlek run?
Well, a fartlek is Swedish for speed play, which I know that we've talked about a lot in cross country. And what some members have done is kind of just go up together with a partner up to the farm park or to any sort of area and just sort of kind of play around and, you know, run a little bit faster and then slow down and then run faster and continue to sort of challenge themselves with speed play.
Okay, what are your expectations for next year?
My expectations are that we are going to have another home meet, which we are. It's already scheduled. We have another home meet. That we will also introduce more female runners to our team, because I think that's important to sort of get the female athletes involved in a long distance running, and just to sort of build our team again, because we had lost about, I think, 4 or 5 seniors this year. So just to get some more seniors involved and more upperclassmen.
What do you suggest for people that are thinking about running?
Well, I would first suggest that they come talk to me or one of the cross-country members, which there are a few out there, including you. They can come out, talk to me, get a summer schedule, a training schedule, and just to run all summer. That's my huge advice, is just to keep running and running and running. And then to also come to our August preseason, which is the last 2 weeks of August.
Are there any requirements to be on the team?
You need to have a physical in order to run with us, and boys and girls physicals will be done later on this week. You can go to the Health Suite and find out more information on that.
And when does the cross-country season start?
The cross-country season officially starts August 18th at 9 o'clock, and we are meeting at the track, and you have to have a physical in hand or submitted to the athletic department.
What are some plans for the first day of conditioning?
Oh, we've got lots of plans in store, including a timed course run. So that's the first thing that will happen, will be to compare your first run of the course to see where you are and see how hard you worked this summer.
Okay. And where are various meets that we go to?
It has not been decided 100% yet. It will come out. We do have our last home meet at the end of October here, and we'll probably be at, I believe Plymouth Whitemarsh is a meet, and I believe Upper Merion also. So
Okay.
there's 4 meets total.
Okay. And how long do they usually last?
The meets usually start at 3:30 and they'll end around 5. So they last a little bit of time. By the time we get home, it's usually around 5 o'clock.
And how many meets do we usually have?
4 meets a year and 2 leagues and districts, which is at Lehigh University, which are the last 2 Fridays of October.
Okay. Now, I know there's 2 different teams. There's the varsity team, the junior varsity team. Who are those captains and what are their jobs?
Well, we don't have captains for this year yet because the season hasn't officially started. But the role of a captain is to motivate his team or her team, to keep them focused, to make sure that everybody is logging miles and that they're running and staying on track, to sort of be a motivator for the team and to cheer everybody on, and just to be a team leader. That's what we're looking for in our captains.
And what does the normal race consist of?
A normal race is 3.1 miles officially, and how it usually works is everyone for varsity will line up, and for all the high schools, the starter will start the race. Everybody runs, they do the 3.1 miles, and then the race is over, and usually come in with your finish time at the end.
And how has Norristown done at most of the meets?
Typically, I've seen a vast improvement over the last 2 years in our meet times. So we started out pretty low. That's okay, and we've steadily improved. I've seen, some of our senior boys that are leaving this year, just seen massive improvements in their times, and the league noticed that. They were very proud of our achievements.
So I know that you're one of the coaches. Who are any of the other coaches?
Coach McDermott is the head coach. She is currently out right now, but she will be back for September to coach us through to the next season. And then that's all. There's just the 2 of us.
Okay. And where can someone find you or Coach McDermott?
I am in room 328, So, and I will be there until the end of the school year, so anyone can come find me at any time, leave me a note, or come find me, or see a cross-country member, and they can always track me down.
Do you have any specific hopes for next year?
I would like to, currently would like to at least get 5 more girls on the team, and to also win another meet.
Okay. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think we have an amazing sport. I think it's definitely a well-bonded team, and I look forward to running in the future.
Okay. Well, I'm Ben Detweiler. I just talked with Coach Bartlett about the cross-country season. Now back to the hosts.
Hi! Hello. Change locations, shake it up. But we did not change our musical guest. It's Jess again. And you're going to be singing what song for us?
Mr. Pond by Chameleon Circuit.
Sorry, could you say that one?
Mr. Pond by Chameleon Circuit.
Okay. We are very excited to hear. Okay.
So now then? Do I? Am I starting? Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. It's not the way she looks at you, like you're the first man in her life. 'Cause I know Amy's true, and when we're through, she'll be my wife. I know you save the universe, and she paints you in perfect lights. And though I may be just a nurse, the doctor isn't always right. You've got no idea just how dangerous you make people to themselves. 'Cause I wanna be Mr. Pond, and I can't lie and say that I'm fond of the way you've been hurled into our world. Now that you save the day, why don't you fly away? 'Cause I wanna be Mr. Pond, but there's so many things that could go wrong in your time machine that you just don't see. Why can't you see? She's never said that she loves me, but she'll still risk her life for you. And in your company, it seems to me that's all she'll do. Well, I guess it's Amy's choice, and I know I can't overrule her, but I've hardly had a voice, and I don't want to lose her. You've got no idea just how dangerous the world is when you're around. 'Cause I wanna be Mr. Pond, and I can't mind say that I'm fond of the way you've been hurled into our world. Now that you save the day, why don't you fly away? 'Cause I wanna be Mr. Pond, but there's so many things that could go wrong in your time machine that you just don't see. Why can't you see what you're doing to Amy? If you keep putting her in danger, you're gonna get her killed. 'Cause I wanna be Mr. Pond, and I can't lie and say that I'm fond of the way you've been hurt into our world. Now that you saved the day, why don't you fly away? 'Cause I wanna be Mr. Pond, but there's so many things that could go wrong in your time machine that you just don't see. Why can't she see?
Okay.
Awesome job. Okay, well, that was very good. When did you start playing and singing?
Singing has been like a whole life kind of deal. Since I was really little, because my dad was really into music, so I'm really into it too. Guitar, started playing it in like 10th grade, about, or somewhere between 9th and 10th grade, or 10th and 11th, one of the two.
And what made you start playing?
Just wanting to expand my musical ability because I want to go to school for music, something in the music industry, and figure if I learn more instruments, it'll be easier to handle and take in.
And did you teach yourself guitar, or did someone teach it to you?
I started out teaching it to myself, and I got a few chords down and learned some stuff. And then last year I had Guitar 1 as a class, which helped, but I still had to do stuff on my own to get to the kind of amateur status I'm at now.
Okay, and you said you want to learn a bunch of different instruments, how to play them. What are some you already know?
I've played the violin for 9 years, so I count that as knowing an instrument. Guitar, we'll say that I can play it, and ukulele. I want to learn how to play the piano because it has a really pretty sound, and I want to be able to play in bass clef and treble clef at the same time, which I don't know how to do yet. Also at home I have an ocarina, which it's like an instrument like this big, depending on what kind it is. And you blow into it, and mine is a 6-hole, 12-hole ocarina, so there's 6 on each side, and it's the instrument that's in the Legend of Zelda games. So I know a couple songs on that thus far.
Are they all from Zelda?
Yeah.
Now, I know the song you just played now was, I don't think everyone knows it. It's not really popular. What's that song about?
It's about Doctor Who. When the 11th Doctor regenerates, he meets Amy and Rory Pond, and they're getting married and stuff. And Rory's all like, wait, you're gonna kill my girlfriend, my fiance, wife, etc., etc. Suddenly Southern. Okay. Yeah, he's like, wait, this isn't cool. So, songs by a band called Chameleon Circuit that writes songs about Doctor Who and character stuff, and that was one of their songs.
And what got you interested in learning those kinds of songs?
I just kind of like nerd stuff.
Gotcha. And you said you plan to study this in college? What are those plans? Are you going to take like music theory classes?
Probably. I'm still not entirely sure what I'm doing with my future, but I know I want it to be somewhere in the region of performing arts, be it theatrical stuff or music, somewhere in that general area.
And would you like to be kind of a performer or maybe a teacher? What is your real dream?
I like performing. I know it's like a difficult area and field to get into and actually thrive in.
I don't think I'd make it as a teacher because like kids, no. But yeah, maybe music therapy because that helps people out, and there's also music. So my future's open.
Definitely, you're young still. And who inspired you?
It's hard to pinpoint an exact source. My family on my dad's side is very music friendly. Like a lot of people on my dad's side play instruments and sing and stuff. On my mom's side, there's like visual arts stuff, and like on my mom's side, they still support me a lot. They come to a lot of stuff I do, and they support what I do. And on my dad's side, I guess they kind of inspired me because like I started music-y stuff at a young age, and then from there it just kind of grew until now this.
Do you have any like professional musician inspirations?
I really like Green Day. Because their music, sometimes it can be like sad, but with a lot of pop punk stuff, it's like sad lyrics to happy music. So it helps you, like the sad lyrics you can connect to when you're feeling down, but then the happy music makes you feel better when you're upset. So it balances it out, and that's pretty cool. Been listening to some Panic at the Disco lately, so they're good. And Fall Out Boy is also pretty great. But yeah, when I listen to music, it's more individual songs than. Is she okay? More individual songs than artists in particular. So that.
Hopefully she's okay. What is your all-time favorite song? If you had to pick, I know there's a lot.
That's so difficult. Possibly Jesus of Suburbia by Green Day. It's like 9 minutes long, but it's a great song.
Okay, and have any high school classes helped you?
Orchestra has helped me a lot with the violin, because like before that, I'm like, what is this note? It's above the staff. I don't know how to play this. And that's helped me, even like with drastic shifting of teachers and stuff for orchestra. That's helped a lot. I didn't really know too much about the guitar, so it helped me learn more chords and stuff, even bar chords, which I kind of hate. And then chorus was pretty helpful too.
Well, you seem to be very good at what you love. Thank you for continuously playing us songs throughout today. And I think we might even hear more later on. So thank you. Now we're going to move on to our host, who are going to introduce the next segment. So.
How you doing, Breezy?
Wonderful, I just tripped. And then after I tripped, I smacked my hip into the corner of a table. And then after that, when I was like almost dying, I tripped over some like weight thing in the middle of the floor. Oh yeah. Oh, my hip hurts. I'm not surprised I did that though.
No one is surprised that happened.
Anyway, we have someone coming up that's really special. He invented the Eagle's Eye pretty much. He was the first ever host. And Ben Detweiler's about to go interview him. Are we good?
Let's do it.
We're good to go.
Hey guys. Hey guys, I'm Ben Detweiler, and I'm joined today with Rich Lancaster, who is the first host of the Eagle's Eye.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
I said your name right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, how's it feel like being back here in Norristown?
I feel old, man. It was 10 years ago that we started it. I didn't create it. Mr. Doyle created it, but he threw me in front of the camera. You know how spontaneous he is.
Yeah.
So he just said, you know, you have a good personality. Go in front of this camera and talk. And I was just like,
Yeah, that's happened to me before. Like I forget who, but there was someone like important that came in, like someone like kind of important. Then Mr. was like, "Oh, you're gonna do this interview," and like threw me in the seat. I'm like,
but that's how you learn.
Yeah.
You learn fast on your feet. So it was cool. We used to do the show over in front of the green screen on the stage, and then it progressed. We got a couch. And, you know, I did it for 3 years. So the first year we just used stools and chairs. Then we got the couch, and the couch just stayed with us. And then yeah, we did the show.
How long did it normally last?
You know what, man? I can't remember. I think it was like a half hour. We had block periods. I'm not sure if you guys still have those or what's going on now.
Yeah.
But it was like one block basically. We would try to get as much as we could in, and then we would go out and film and do other segments around the school. Or are we going to reminisce right now?
Sure.
We went to the farm park one time, and Mr. Doyle was driving the golf carts. And we had all these bunch of segments with deer in the background chasing us. We had a flat tire, as a matter of fact. And then the police came. They said we were joyriding. It was pretty crazy, man. It was cool. It was cool.
Is that your favorite memory?
I got stuck in the elevator one time shooting the show. This little service elevator over here. Yeah, and I didn't know the camera was still rolling, so you know I got back into rich mode because I was scared.
Yeah.
And I was pressing the button, and there was no cell phone service, and it was crazy. They kept rolling the cameras on us. So I was watching that clip the other day, actually. I still reminisce.
Oh, of you being
go back to my
trapped in
youth
the elevator.
days. Yeah.
So you had 3 years, I think you said, being the host.
Yeah.
Did you have any other people hosting with you?
Yeah, the first year, I was the consistent host. First year was Kevin Turner. I'm not sure if his name rings bells to anybody. Probably not, since we're so old. We had Kevin Turner first year. Then the next year was Dana Petruski. She got married. I don't know her last name now.
Kill Harder or something.
Yeah. Hey, Dana. And then the last year was Steve Catania. We used to like try out who the new host would be to see if they'll mess with me and everything like that. It was pretty cool. It was funny.
Yeah, we did that too last year. We just kind of had random people match together.
Right. How long have you been hosting?
This is my first year hosting.
What year are you in?
I'm a junior right now, so I'm going to be a senior next year.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I know. It's pretty exciting. So, what kind of things have changed since you were here to now?
With the show?
Anything.
Or with life?
Yeah.
I mean, it was 10 years ago. I got taller. My voice got deeper. With the show, I mean, with the comm center in general, I mean, it's pretty much the same. You know, when the girl tripped right here, it's the same thing that happened back in the day. So that was pretty cool. This flower has been here with us as well, as a matter of fact.
This is our fern.
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah,
this thing is interesting that it's still there and alive.
It is very much alive.
That closet has been here. You know, the only thing that pretty much has changed is the students. I mean, Mr. Dole's been here. He's been great.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Do you have a question, Mr. Doyle? No. Okay. So we have her. Yeah, this ficus has been a huge influence on our lives. I think Breezy can agree, and so can Brianna. So how's the song go?
Ficus name, fern ficus.
Yeah.
You guys have a
The one day we were like,
I don't know if there was a song.
it's a ficus named Fern. It's a fern named ficus.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we had that whole song. That's like an outtake. I think so. Yeah. So this fern has been a large part of her life.
So how do you guys how you like hosting it? It still
really
gets aired on the channel, right? The school channel?
Yeah, we still air it on, I think it's like 28 Comcast and 45 Verizon.
Okay.
The school district.
When I was on the show, people used to recognize me out. Does anybody recognize you out and say something?
At my job, this one guy came up to me. He was like, I've seen you somewhere. And I'm like, well, I don't know where. I don't really recognize you. And he goes, you're on TV. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I am on TV.
Right. Yeah, I felt like a little celebrity. I was in a grocery store one time, and this little girl came up to me asking for my autograph.
Really?
Yeah, I did it.
Oh, that's so cool.
She probably threw it away, but I had to take it with you, you know?
That's cool,
Take what you can get with it. So who's the biggest person that you've interviewed so far? Have you interviewed anybody? You said you forgot the important person.
Yeah, I know. We've interviewed Breezy. Who have we interviewed before here?
I would say the new athletic director was the biggest person I interviewed.
Yeah, Breezy's was the new athletic director.
Yeah, we've interviewed Principal Smith multiple times. All the vice principals a lot.
Regional vice president for TD Bank.
Oh, that's a big one. The regional vice president for TD Bank. I don't know if you guys are hearing this. Just kind of repeating what Breezy's saying.
The chief academic advisor.
The chief academic advisor for the district.
Mrs. Rourke is the
Chief financial officer, Mrs. Rourke. Yeah. We've also gone a lot of places that are like pretty big. Like we went to Dragonfly Forest. It's a camp that we're actually half the money that we raise here is going towards. And we went there and got to talk to, I think I'm not sure his title, but he was like one of the guys in charge of it. And it was pretty cool. He gave us a tour of everything. Have you gone? Did you get to go anywhere?
Yeah, I went a bunch of places actually. Our group, we kind of started the interest in the Comm Center to make it a little bit bigger. We got to go to Harrisburg. This is when Ed Rendell was the governor. We met him, got a tour around Harrisburg.
Wow.
At the Capitol. Mr. Doyle, he is actually one of my mentors. I look up to him. He got me to be who I am today. Even when I went to college, I majored in mass communications and everything of that sort. But he actually allowed me to videotape and get to meet Barack Obama before he was the president, when he was a senator. He came to the Carver Center in Northtown.
Oh my gosh.
No, he came to the Carver Center. And it's pretty funny. There's a picture
That's so
of
cool.
Mr. Doyle took of me, and I got like, I'm filming him, and Barack is like right there. It was pretty cool. That one incident made me want to be a part of politics, but that was it.
Has your days as Eagles High host kind of changed you into doing what you do today?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I was lost and confused when I got to high school. Mr. Doyle putting me in front of the camera was like one of the best things that happened to me. It gave me an idea of what I wanted to do in life and where I wanted to be, and I just knew I couldn't be this closed person. So it kind of opened me up, and I'm here now today.
So what do you do now?
Right now, I work at Lincoln University in institutional advancement, and I basically cultivate relationships between alumni and, I guess you would say, friends who want to donate money to the school.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of like what we're doing today. That's like literally what we're doing right now.
No, it's interesting that you guys, because you guys are doing what I do on a daily basis, raising money. Right now, I'm working on a $10 million campaign, which is crazy. Do you guys have a goal?
No, we don't really have a goal. I think our goal was just to...
Honestly, the main goal was to be able to sustain a 24-hour production.
Okay. You're supposed to tell people that, but okay.
But whatever we raise.
How much have you guys raised so far?
So far, what are we up to? I think we're up to 600. Yeah, we're up to $600 so far, which is
in one day. I mean, in today.
Yeah, just from 7:30 this morning.
That's great.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah, I mean.
It's definitely more than I thought.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot more than I thought. I thought like our reach goal was like 500.
So I guess I'll drop a bomb, and I like that you guys are, doing this for charity and what it stands for. What is it? The dream? What is the camp?
Dragonfly
Forest. Mr. Doyle was explaining it to me a little bit. It's for kids with special needs. Yeah. Well, my sister has special needs, and so that touches my heart. So I want to donate to you guys today.
Oh, awesome.
I got a little, something in my pocket, but I don't want to bring it out because I don't want everybody, But no, I want to, most definitely. I'm happy.
That's awesome. Okay, and shout out to anyone that's at home and feeling really generous right now. You can call us up, 610-630-5098.
You good.
Ooh, thanks.
I did Mr. Doyle hear that? Did you hear it? I kind of said it so you can hear me. This is how we used to do back in the day, too. He used to get on the microphone, and we used to think it was
the
like...
God voice.
There you go. It was
the God voice.
He would just come out of nowhere. We like... It was crazy. It was great.
Yeah, the God voice. Ah, the God voice is broken.
It wasn't me, I promise.
He does this at graduation, like, he has the God voice. It's working.
There we go.
It was working.
No.
There we are.
There you go.
This is exactly how we used to do it, right? So what did you say? I didn't hear you. I was talking to a host.
Okay. Well, it's been a long time, God. How you doing?
He does this
No,
at graduation.
but I was just saying I'm happy. I don't know what camera I'm looking at either, but I'm just happy that you guys are doing this for a great cause, and I wanted to donate to the cause as well. I'm fluctuating with numbers in my head, but I'm thinking $100. I'll give it to you guys.
Well, that's awesome.
Thank you there. God, voice is working. Listen, could you sign off from the interview the way you used to sign off at the end of the show? You remember how you do that every week?
I think I did. I don't. Let me see if I'm okay.
I mean, yeah, and I think part of it had to do with someone special in your life.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Well, Ben, it was great interviewing. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Guys, stay tuned next week. We have a big show for you. Hey, Mom, I love you. I'll see you soon. That was it. That's what I used to do. I used to have my mom all the time.
That's so cool.
I used to do.
What was the biggest challenge that you had?
Oh, I think we're supposed to go back over, but.
Are we really? Aww. Okay, that's fine. See ya. Go back to the hosts.
So you know who else loves his mommy?
That's it?
Drew. Hi, Mrs. Baltrus. Drew loves his mommy.
You love your mommy.
Yeah, but no. Your relationship with your mom is so cute.
Mommy.
Yeah. So next up, we're gonna have Tyler and Morgan. Morgan is also in the top 5. We're gonna learn a little bit more about her.
And then after that, we'll have a series of 2 more people from the top 5.
Mhm.
So hogging the mic, please.
Yeah, come on, share it.
No, I'm just trying to be Drew for the day.
Sharing
Hog the mic.
Oh.
You want the mic?
Yeah, I would enjoy the mic.
Let's play. Keep away from Drew. Here, Seth.
Okay.
Oh my god. Stream switch.
Oh, we are switching the stream. We're on part 5 right now. We're going to go to part 6.
In 5, 4, 3. Are we
Wait.
switching? Are we